Welcome to day 10. This wand build is from a diamond willow stick, and all I need to do is sand it with rough grit and then medium grit and then fine grit so that it'll be smooth. Now I am carving spaces for crystals at the top of the stick. This is unlike any other way I've put a top on a wand. These are tongues, and they'll just be at the top. They're hard to put on.
I have finished sanding this stick, and I chose a point crystal, which is a tongue of lapis lazuli. It has sort of gold tints in it. It is very stunning. And this will go in the bottom of the wand. So I just made a slit through the bottom, and this is where that will go. Because it's got that slit, runny glue is probably not going to work here, and I need to use the epoxy clay, hard drying clay, and it's black. And then the same for the top. I've got so there's no way for me to dig a hole for these, but I've got a tiger eye tongue, and right behind it is a chrysocolla tongue. And I've got a space I'm digging for two little steampunk gears right here.
So here I'm just using my hand carver and digging a space where I've outlined the steampunk gears, the silver and gold. And then it's just taking time to dig out. I don't have to go that deep. It's pretty shallow. So just digging it out and then sanding it smooth so it can take those two little gears. And that's where they'll go. And they need gluing.
One more thing I'm adding to this stick is this small piece of fire opal. It's got really brilliant orange, and that's gonna look good on here. So the place it's going is right there. Okay, I poured some glue for this little piece of fire opal and the steampunk gears. Neither one of them need too much glue, so I'm just stirring it now.
Now I'm just delicately placing that little fire opal in that space that I created for it and wiping off the excess glue that, it gets in the way.
So I'm going to put a little bit of glue where the steampunk gears go. Not too much, because they don't need too much.
So I'm gently placing them in their shallow space. That one has a little heart shape. I like that.
Okay, those are in. Waiting for them to dry. Now, I've got to glue in these narrow tongues. And so I'm using Epoxy Sculpt. This is a hardening clay. Okay, I've got these two that are about equal parts, and I just mix them together by squishing them together. And when it's thoroughly mixed, it'll just be black. This takes 3 hours to harden and then a day to set up. So I'm going to start with the lapis.
I use a portion for the lapis side.
I'm shoving it in that space.
So I'd use that portion, shove it in there, and finesse it a little bit so that it fits and it has some clay all around all the sides. And just make sure it fits, make sure it gets smoothed out.
Okay. A little cleanup work for sure. Okay, I've got that glued in. I have glued those in with the epoxy sculpt, and they are parted. There's a space in the middle, and what's holding them down is this black clay that will harden. And the same for the point lapis, the tongue. These are all 3 tongues, and the fire opal and the steampunk gears. And now I am going to clear coat.
And I'm speeding that up as I do it so it just goes faster. But look how the color pops on that when I put that clear coat over it. It's an amazing process. I really like doing this part, probably more than the sanding part, because it just shows how beautiful the wood is and how great it's going to look in the end, which I feel is the most important thing.
Okay, I'm now doing the downside of this tongue wand with steampunk gears and Mexican fire opal.
So as I finished this clear coat, the bottom part didn't have as much diamonds to show off getting that clear coat.
Is complete. It's just not ready. But I'm going to call it complete.
And here it is. Complete. This is really beautiful. I'm happy I made this one. Beautiful.